We're going to now practice the concept of dividing fractions. This is page 176. And it says Marie has 2 spools of ribbon. One spool holds 3 yards of ribbon and the other spool holds 2 yards of ribbon. She uses all the ribbon to cut bookmarks that are each 1/4 of a yard long. How many bookmarks does she have, or Marie have? So one is 3 yards and the other is 5. So why shouldn't we take 3 plus 2 and then divide those into 1/4 size portions? Looks like a plan to me. Let's see what we end up with. So we are going to go ahead and do the parentheses first. What's the first thing we need to do? Put the 5 over what? 1. We're going to keep 5 over 1. We're going to change the division to multiplication. We're going to flip the last fraction. And that equals, multiply across. 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 1 is 1. And D is the correct answer. All right, Marco drew a model to illustrate an expression and to find its value, which correctly represents Marco's model. So we're talking about this little part right here of the original drawing. So if we made all of these have the same size, that's one way you could look at it, 2, 4, 6, 8, it would be 1/8 of the original drawing. So the only one that has the 1/8 would be here, right? Yep. You're taking the 1/4 and you're dividing it into 2 parts, and that equals 1/8. So 2 has to be C. Let's go to number 3. This one is Isabella. It says Isabella is cutting yarn from a roll for an art project. She has 1/9 of a roll of red yarn and she cuts it into 4 equal pieces. So let's just do the math. What is being divided? 1/9 of the roll, right? So 1/9, and you're dividing it into how many equal pieces? 1/9 of it, and you're dividing it into 4 equal pieces. What happens to the 4? It becomes 1 whole. We keep the first fraction, we change the sign, we flip the last fraction, and that is now, if I multiply across and across, it's 1/36 right there. It's always important for you to find your answers before you even go, because if you do that, chance is very good that you're going to have that problem correct. Proof is very, very important. Mick has a rope that is 2 feet long. He cuts it into pieces that are each 1/3 foot long. Which number line? I probably, at this point, would think about, well, I mean, you could think about it, or you could do the math, or why can't you do the math and then think about it? Not a bad idea. All right, so what is being divided? The 2 feet long of rope, and he cuts it into pieces. So you're doing this, your 2 divided into 1/3 size portions. You put the 2 over 1, that's your first step. The 2 over 1, you change that middle sign from division to multiplication, and instead of 1/3, it becomes 3 over 1. You only do that with division, obviously. Okay, so we need one that ends up with 6 different portions. Is this 6 different portions? Nope, we start with 2, and we have to have, that one they started with 3. Okay, what about this one? You start with 2 wholes and 6, yay, there it is. That's correct. I'm not sure what that's trying to show, but. All right, let's look at this one, and it says, Braden bought 20-pound bag of colored sand and put it into his sand pit. Braden's bucket can hold 1/2 pound of sand. How many times will Braden need to fill his bucket in order to carry all? You're trying to take 20 and divide it into 1/2 size portions that you're going to dump over 1. You keep the first one, you change the sign, you flip the last one. And that's 40 over 1, which equals 40. Yep, Very good.